One of the things I think you and your camp are suggesting is that maybe the book was already closed on this. Do you think Keith Kaiser has kind of already made his mind up on it because he didn't really bring it to the commission for a full-fledged investigation?
You know, it was kind of weird how everything when our case came up, that everything kind of started changing a little. You know, with the talks that they had before, and they were only allowed to comment on certain issues. You know, that was kind of strange to me, but. You know, as this investigation moves on, and you know, and that's another thing. We just want to know what did Keith Kaiser do to investigate this, then, you know, because I'm sure you have to talk to both parties involved, and he never came up and talked to us yet. So, as far as we're concerned, the investigation isn't done.
What did you think of what Phil Nurse and Greg Jackson had to say?
You know, that's pretty much what I expected Phil Nurse and Greg Jackson to say. You know that. They didn't do it, but you know, Phil Nurse sat right there and said it looks real bad, you know, what I did, and I don't know. I mean, we're not disputing the fact that that's a breathing technique. All we're saying is that's how they're putting it on.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'll look at Mr. Friend in his eyes and say I'm not disputing that, and maybe it does work. You know, but that's how they're rubbing it on. You know, if I went and spit on my hand and tried to rub it on Mr. Friend's back, I don't think he'd let me. Why? Because whatever's on my hand is going to get on his back.
Right. But you guys are suggesting that this is a pattern of behavior, that the Vaseline is just not some innocent attempt, mistake in the ring to do a breathing technique. You're saying that there's a pattern of behavior with George St. Pierre even before Phil Nurse and Greg Jackson.
It's not really that we're suggesting it. I mean, everybody came out and started suggesting it. You know, it's not me sitting there and say, oh, well, what did he say about him or him? Do you have any news? Everybody came out and said, you know, that they feel that this happened to them. And you know, at these times, I don't even think that Phil Nurse and Greg Jackson was a part of St. Pierre's corner when he fought Sean Shirk, when he fought Jason Miller. I'm not sure that they were even involved with St. Pierre at that time, you know, so I mean, it's a puzzle wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma right now.
You seem a little upset that George St. Pierre didn't take the time to come here.
I'm not upset that George St. Pierre didn't take the time to come here. I'm upset that they didn't ask George St. Pierre to come here. And then, like I said, for the commission, you know, we made the pre-bout. You caught Nurse and Jackson while you were looking for George St. Pierre. So with that logic, you know, and then you asked those two guys to come. So with that logic, right, we should have asked for Nurse and Jackson, because then you would have caught George. You know what I mean? And you know, so we'll see what it comes down to. You know, but me sitting here, I'm a fighter. You know, and as a fighter and competitor, we all know, BJ, the only way for redemption is to get back in the ring and kick George St. Pierre's butt. That's the only way. I can sit there and do this and that, you know, and we finally might, you know what I mean, catch him if he is doing something wrong. We finally might catch him. But you know, besides that, you know, I mean, we just gotta wait and let everybody see what happens.
Now, one other thing that came out during the discussions is that you actually did suffer some pretty severe injuries. I don't know that that's really been chronicled, that you know, some of the damage you took did linger for a while.
Oh yeah, I was hurt, man. That's what, you know, I just went straight home and I was hurt. My head was dizzy. I had a concussion, and I got hurt from that, man. I could not defend myself while I was on my back. You know, George is a great fighter. You know, when he was beating me up, standing up, he was taking me down. One thing for sure, I could not defend myself while I was on my back.
So, what do you say to fans who are either tired of the issue, do they not get the issue, and secondly, who say, you know, really, what's going to be achieved here, BJ? Maybe you're just kind of embarrassing the sport.
I don't think it's, you know, if you have a problem with me filing a formal complaint because something unfair happened in the sport of MMA, then what does that say about yourself? You know, what does that say about yourself? If you're a fan, you know, of BJ Penn or George St. Pierre, and if somebody files a complaint or says that, hey, wait, something wasn't fair, and thousands of people are saying, yeah, it wasn't fair, and you got a problem with me doing that, what does that say about yourself? What kind of person are you?
So ultimately, what do you want to see happen? Nurse suspended, Jackson suspended, you want to see George St. Pierre suspended?
You know, when it comes to all that stuff, you know, I'm not a litigator. I'm not, you know, all these other things. You know, if they get suspended one way or another, I want to be back in the ring, and I want my fair fight with George St. Pierre. I want my rematch. I want my fair fight. There's a reason why people cheat. You know what I mean? It's because they're not confident in some area. This is mixed martial arts. Nobody can be good at everything. Somebody's weak somewhere, and that's why people cheat.
Last thing, you saw Carol Parisian earlier.
I love Carl Parisian.
He got fined $32,000 out of $80,000. He's out now 9 months. Your lawyer and you actually repeatedly said that you don't think that steroid or painkiller use is any different than someone intentionally greasing.
Well, painkiller use is definitely something different unless it stopped him from getting pain when he was in the ring. But, steroid use, if you're greasing yourself down, that's cheating. That's the same stuff. It gives you an unfair and unnatural advantage against your opponent, and that's cheating. And I've always came out and been real strict on that stuff because it's what I believe. I don't want to be the best volleyball player in the world and the volleyball champion if I suck and I cheated and I was using stilts so I could jump higher to hit the ball harder. I don't know, I don't want to be that guy. It doesn't make sense to me.
Do you think the media coverage has been fair? You think there are people out there who are prejudicial?
Or are pissed at me for doing this?
One way or the other, they pick one side or the other. Because I get comments both ways that, I'm anti-George or I'm anti-BJ, and I think I've covered both sides of the story.
I think before you say I'm anti-George or before you say I'm anti-BJ, you got to say I'm pro-MMA and I'm pro for the sport. And, this is about cleaning the thing up. And, I've said it again, if you're pissed at me for complaining about somebody cheating when everybody's seeing what happened, what does that say about yourself? What does that really say about you? So what if I'm wrong? Then when I filed a complaint, I'm wrong. But hey, at least the sport's intact, and now they got new rules for the next generation of people to come up.
Right.
So whatever. Can't say anything. I'll have my fans. George has his fans. If George comes out and says that he did it, there'll always still be some of his fans who won't believe that he did it.
Right.
But that's life, and all the MMA fans, you gotta love them all because even if they hate me, they love the sport and they're pushing the sport forward. And if it wasn't for this sport, I'd be some bum hanging on the side of the road.
I don't think you'd be a bum. 10 seconds.
Well, no, you don't know my parents, man. If you don't earn respect in that house, if you don't stand up and you don't do things, they'll kick you out of that house fast.
You're out now. 10 seconds on the future fighting-wise. What are you going to do? You're not going to take a fight in Germany. That's pretty clear, right? They're not going to talk you into that against Kenny Florian.
Yeah, I really had to heal up a lot of my injuries, and I still, I can't really get back in and start scoring and punch in the head, right away. So, I'm clearing it up, but that's the next on the agenda, defend the lightweight title.
So you think that could be, what, August, September?
Yeah, maybe July, August, I'm probably
If you're in Las Vegas or coming to Sin City this weekend, you got to see the best amateur MMA event in town at Planet Hollywood this Friday. MMA Explosion 5. Tickets start at just $25. It's MMA Explosion. 474-1400 for tickets. This Friday, Las Vegas, Planet Hollywood, 474-1400.